What's up? Figured I'd get a little bit dressed up since it's a formal occasion. Instead of you guys just looking at me in my pajamas. There we go. Get my chat bar all fixed there. So what's up? Welcome to the 5K stream. I didn't ever think we'd make it quite this far, but I'm tickled pink we managed to. Yay! So, I don't really have any plans. I'm just kind of keeping it loose here. I figure I'll answer some questions. We might read some stories if you guys want to. Um, just kind of hang out like we do on these things. So yeah, how you guys doing? Doing all right? Hanging in there tonight? Oh, after having to work all last weekend, I'm still a little bit tired, but I'm just kind of burning through it here. I'm gonna take this hat off. I forgot how hot that hat was. Oh, I got a haircut, as some of you will have noticed from the last stream 2 weeks ago. So that's always good. I was looking a little shaggy. So what's up? What you guys want to talk about tonight? What are we doing? Oh, are you enjoying the Halloween programming? I hope. I worked really, really hard on it, so I hope so. And a hello to Sylvia and Paige and Brandon and Koki. Hey guys, it's good of you guys to join. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to myself here, which is just a typical Saturday for me. But any rate, yeah, back to the topic at hand. There, I hope you guys have been enjoying the Halloween broadcasting. I don't know if you've noticed, but we've got like 4 different stories kind of running congruently there, which we're about halfway through with, I guess. We just finished up week 2 yesterday, so about 2 more weeks of, yeah, those stories should finish up on the 25th, and then on Halloween week, the 28th through probably like the 1st, I'll have something different for you guys. I'll have a whole, I don't know. Do you want it to be a surprise? I'll go ahead and ruin it for you. It's not a lot to ruin. I'm sure some of you guys have expected it because you've seen a lot of our other like Halloween denizens here, but we haven't seen one in particular come back yet. One of our Halloween staples here. He's been very absent this year. I'll go ahead and tell you. It's the Barker. The Barker will be coming back for more. Well, no, not really haunted house stories because it's going to be a little different this year. The Barker is going to have a haunted carnival to run, and I think we might get to know a little bit more about him this time. Not to mention some of the other denizens of our little spooky world that we've made here. Which one's been your favorite story so far? I I really liked seeing another Corn Man story. I may have to do more of those, honestly. Corn Man's such a very underutilized character, and I like his little chant there. His little chant's always fun. Yeah, um, it's gonna be a lot more spooky month this month, so we'll have a lot more stories, a lot more stuff to do. Should be a lot of fun. Um, I've got plans for November. I've got to work on my stuff for December, but I've got plans there too. Just wouldn't be December unless we talked about some Green Man, talked about some Christmas horror. But yeah, should be a lot of fun. Guys are quiet tonight. Uh oh yeah, the one at the garden has been a lot of fun. The garden has been kind of a mixed bag. Like it's really not something that a lot of people look forward to on a Friday, and I get it. Everybody wants a new Dr. Winters story, or like a new, oh hi Blondie, or a new Appalachian Grandpa story. But the garden is such a fun place to write about sometimes, and I really enjoy coming back to it every now and again. As much as I do the hospital. Seems like I'm missing one. Is there really only 4? Let's see. Grandpa, the hospital, Dr. Winters, and the botanical garden. Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, and Stragview. How could I forget Stragview? It didn't seem like there was enough there. And yeah, we've got a lot of cool Friday stories, a lot of cool Monday stories, a lot of cool stories in general. Um, oh yeah, speaking of Grandpa, I'm not gonna make you guys wonder what happened to him for too long. We're going to have a special Grandpa story in November. Well, special series of Grandpa stories. Okay, you guys know I'm no good at keeping secrets. We're gonna do a crossover with Grandpa and the hospital, which I think will be an interesting place to explore Grandpa's power there, and the burgeoning powers of our storyteller from the hospital, who's kind of run into his own spooky stuff there lately. But the first week of November, well, okay, let me rewind a little. The weekend after Halloween, I will be going to Universal with the wife and kids. So I will be putting up that week's story ahead of time, but it's going to be the last 5 of the Dollar General stories. So that'll really tie up our Dollar General stories together. So you guys will have all 20 stories, and once I get some more in, I might start narrating the rest of it, which I've got a Beyond the Dollar General Beyond series. But that may be a channel exclusive. Like I really haven't been getting a lot of traction on Reddit with those. So that may be something I just do for you guys, because you guys really seem to appreciate it. Just wanted to stop by and tell him. Oh, he has been a delight to work with, Nikki. I love Horror on the Rocks so much. But I just sent him the last part of our season 2 for the Mortician series. I'm waiting to get lines back because Corey has a big part in it, and won't ruin everything, but there will definitely be some cameos in there. Like we're gonna end it with a bang, and it'll really set it up for next season. Because I'm not going anywhere there. Like those stories are not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. Hi Pumpkin. Did you want to come be a part of the live stream? Hang on. Oh, come here, you. Come here, you. This is the jingle bell sound you guys keep talking about in the background, so I figure I'll let him come sit in for a minute so you guys can get your fix. Don't step on any of my equipment, you. But yeah, no, the Horror on the Rock stuff isn't going anywhere. Like we're definitely going to continue that. I've got at least 2 more seasons planned, and I know he's got big plans too. So yeah, that's Pumpkin. He's a ham. Trying to think, what were we talking about here before that? But yeah, no, like I've got a lot planned here, and I think we'll have a lot of cool stories coming up. Hey Duchess, I haven't seen you in a while. Definitely going to be a big year on Christmas stories. I think probably next month I'm going to start doing because the rest of October I've already got most of your Halloween stories written. I got to finish up one more um, from the Barker story that's coming up at the end. But I've got to start working on my Christmas stuff because I'm not gonna put on quite as much for Christmas as I did for Halloween, but I'm still gonna do some stuff. You guys really like my Halloween horror, so there's gonna be at least one of those a week. I'm not gonna do nearly what I did with the Yule Lads. Like that took a lot of planning. But I'll do something. Like, we'll get something. I've got a lot of cool story ideas and things, and I think we'll have a lot there. I think it'll be cool. I think you guys will like it. I think you will. Um, as some of you know, I've talked about it on the last stream. I'm going to be moving next year, which will allow me to retire. I'm going to sell my house and move out closer to my parents so my family can kind of live closer to them, and we can like cut our bills basically like by 75%. I'm going to buy their house and they're going to move in with my grandma. Um, and then this is just going to be what I do, like writing and live streaming and videos and such. You guys will get a lot more live streams at that point. I may do a couple of them a week, because that's a big part of it. I know you guys like the interaction, and I like the interaction. So, in that we're together there. I like doing live streams. I wish I could do them more often, but these short weeks are like the best times for that because I don't have to go to work as much, and I can do things on the weekend. Um, Anybody got any questions or anything? Like anything you just really, really wanted answered? Like I'm down for whatever. Like this is you guys' Q&A stream, so I'm here for you guys. Sorry, pollen count here in Florida has been high lately. I don't know what you guys have got going on there, but it has been bad for allergies lately. You guys have probably noticed how crunchy my voice has been as of late. So you can thank all the pollen on that. Like, it's really, my voice has been bad. I've had to do a couple of different retakes just due to voice cracks. Oh, I am a corrections officer. I work in a jail now, but it's the same thing. Like I'm a turnkey. I do security at the jail, but it really has pushed my Stragview stories up a lot because I get the terminologies there. I can make it sound halfway believable because I've been not in a place like that. No places like Stragview, but I've been in the prison system, and I know what it looks like. I used to print out and have inmates read some of my inmate-centric stories to see if I got their terminology right, and some of them actually helped me with it. They're like, "Yeah, we wouldn't say this. We'd say it like this. We would call COs this. We would say this," and it really helped, make my Stragview stuff cohesive. Well, I didn't get a mass subscriber delete, so I guess that's good. Usually, when you tell people you're a corrections officer, they are not they're not okay with it. I mean, yeah, it's been a good career, but I will be glad to leave it behind. It is very stressful. A lot of time for writing, at least in the wing I'm in. Like don't I really don't have to put up with a lot of the shenanigans that my contemporaries do. So wee hours of the night, I'll bang out like sometimes 3 stories a night if I'm on fire. At least one a night, though, has been my average. But yeah, I write way too much, or not enough, I guess. I don't know. Most of that's commissions these days, because that's been my bread and butter lately. I've been doing a lot more commission work. Um, I know you guys are on other channels. I see you in the comment sections. But I know you've noticed a lot of channels read the same stories. They all read the same stories, and it's like, why? So I reach out to large channels, small channels, and tell them, hey, for a rate, I will write you a story. It's just for your channel. You're the only one that gets to read it. So I think I charge like $15 per 1,000 words. I usually make about $60 a story, which I know sounds like a lot, but for custom fiction, that's not bad, because they come up with the prompt, they tell me how long they want it to be, and I roll with it, and people have really liked it. I hope to get more in the future. That's what Horror on the Rocks and I do. I mean, he pays me for the stories, and we kind of co-write it. Because once I'm done with it, he takes it and changes things and adds things, and so it's definitely a collaborative rate. I like it. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to get paid for what you like to do. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I did not mean to do that. Hang on a second. I clicked a button I should not have clicked it. Ah, there we go. Okay. But yeah, so I'm hoping in the near future that's just going to be my day-to-day, Sorry, answering comments. I see that we're well on our way to 5,100 subscribers now. That's kind of cool. It's really been we've really grown really quick. And I like it. Like, I remember less than a year ago we were sitting around 3,000 subs, and now it's wild that we're sitting here at like 5,000 subs. Hey Queen, good to see you. I'm doing good. Just another Saturday. That's good. I'm glad that my story helped you through the fire and the sandwich. How have you guys been liking the comfy horror, the cozy horror, whatever we're calling it? I think it's kind of cool. It's a little more personal, and I thought, given my comment section, I figured you guys would really like it. Being able, it's like I'm telling you stories on my couch. Like, rain's coming down, nice soothing noises. Sometimes that's what we need at the start of the day. It will be nice to be seen more often. Right now my work schedule's so hectic. If I get 2 live streams a month, I'm lucky. I'm not usually lucky. Usually it's more like 1 a month. Oh yeah, the compilations have been great. Somebody had asked me, they're like, why don't I put more ads in my stories? And I'm like, well, my stories are like 15 to 30 minutes long. I don't want to load them down with ads. That seems shitty. Because I know me personally, there's nothing I hate more than I'm just getting into a story or something, and then there's an ad, and it takes me right out of it. So that's what I have the big compilations for. I can put ads in between the stories, so I still get my ad revenue, so I can still pay bills and stuff, and you guys still get stories, and I get to keep my later stories free of all those ads, which is nice. I like being able to do that. I'm gonna have to take some of my Patreon money or something, I guess, and get a new processor soon. My processor here is having trouble. I don't know. I think it was probably because I dropped it when I installed it, but it has been struggling lately, especially with some reason, like, the comfy horror videos take like twice as long to compile, and it really struggles with it. Extremely talented. Oh, well, thank you. Thanks, Nikki. I like bringing you guys my original fiction. I like presenting you guys with stories you might not have heard off of Reddit, but I like giving you guys the stories that I write more, I think. Like, if I could manage it, I'd give you guys new fiction 5 times a week. Like, if I could manage it, but that's a lot. That's a huge output. I'd like to try, though. One of these days. Yeah, me too. I figure it's a little less egregious on the longer videos because the story's over and you're in between stories, so the ad's not so bad. But yeah, if you're tired of all the ads on the compilations, sorry about that. That's how we pay bills and things. Well, it's how I pile money up in a hole to pay bills after I retire. So good. I love that they are new and not something I've already heard. Well, thank you. Most of the time, I'm the first one to read my stories. Like, some of the Wednesday stories will get picked up by other channels, but most of the time, if you're hearing the story, you're hearing it from me first, because I post them on Reddit the same day as I post them on the channel. So if somebody wants to read them, then they have to come after that. Yeah. Me too. I don't like ads either. They just... I like having money, though, so I'm a shill. I can't help it. Nothing worse than ad for shopping interrupting the story, especially with the music. Yeah, I'm trying to work on my music a little. I've noticed that some of it gets a little high after post-production. I've been what's the word? I've been playing with it a little bit, trying to figure out where the right level's at so that it doesn't like blow anybody's speakers out, because they get really loud sometimes. But I don't know, I had it for a minute and then YouTube must have changed its programming or something, because now I've noticed that you can hear them again, and it's wild. Well, I like the Fume ads too, because they're short. Like, they wanted a 30-second spot and you can get into the story. Like, Aura wanted a 2-minute ad. Like, they've got you a script they want you to read. I think going forward, I think I'm probably not going to put any more ads at the start, like ads that I integrate into the thing. Aura's been okay. If you'd like to use Aura to help me out, I'll put a code somewhere. But I haven't really got any money off of either them or Fume, so Aura I've probably got a couple $100 from, but I'm really just kind of thinking about stepping back. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I appreciate what they did. Like, it's nice to have ads. It makes you look professional, and my channel is definitely not that big yet, but I don't know. I don't think it's the kind of thing I'll pursue in the future. I mean, if I get like a really cool ad or something that I really think you guys will like, then I might do that. Heck, I might start putting ads for my own stuff at the beginning of my videos. I've got like 9 books now. Like, I might start doing ads for my books. Like, I see Mr. Creepypasta do it for his candle company sometimes, or his tea company sometimes. Hey, Brandy, glad you could make it. Oh yeah, I've never been one to corporately shill. I wouldn't know what that was like. Fume sponsored this video, but no, it's honestly, when they sent it to me, I don't even smoke, and I like this thing. Like, it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna start smoking either, but it's nice to play with every now and again. Collab between you and Grim Reader Cummings. Grim Reader and I have been talking about it. He's been talking about I think he read one of my stories and I read one of his, and we've been talking about doing some voice work, but we haven't settled on anything yet. Eventually we will. Well, Nikki, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, don't let me get you fired. Go back to work. We'll be here for a while longer if you want to come back. I had planned on going for about 2 hours, but we'll see how attendance is and if you guys want to go that long. I mean, I'm not gonna hold you hostage, you know. I see that a lot. Like, there's oh snap, Jennifer's here. What's up, Jennifer? There's a guy in my comments, Lee Kendall. He helped me. He gave me the idea for the Maneater story that I wrote, and I noticed that like I won't hear from him for like a week or two, and then just all of a sudden he'll just come through and watch all my videos. Like it's wild. I'm like that's cool, Lee. I like that you're supporting the channel, bro. I appreciate that. Well, happy Halloween, Brandy. You could give it a try. I can. Hang on. Let me find it. That's my promo code if you want to use it. I don't know if it gets you a discount or something. I'm not 100%. But yeah, it's cool. Like my wife's been trying to quit smoking or vaping or whatever, and she's like it's not as cool as vaping, but I kind of like it. Hang on, you got me looking now. Nope, FUM, but the U has like little dots over it, and I didn't know how to make the thing like. That is that an umlaut or something? Like I didn't know how that worked, so I just had to put FUM. Like they pronounce it fume, but it has no E. It's weird. Well, thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. However, that's to stop it from ringing. However you guys ingest my content, I really appreciate it. Like it's always I don't know, it's still wild to think that you guys come on to hear me like tell stories like that. Just it blows my mind. Like writing was what I always wanted to do. Like even when I was a little kid, like I've been writing since like the 3rd grade. But again, like my friends were the only ones that ever really liked to read my stuff, and nobody ever really wanted to publish it or anything. And it's been nice to like arrive and like realize that people like hearing my stories and stuff. I really appreciate you guys. Like it really is. I don't want to say an ego boost, but it has been really nice to realize that, especially with my voice. Like I hate my voice. I hated my voice until about 2 years ago. I thought it was nasally and it sounded terrible, and I couldn't imagine why anybody would want to listen to it. So to have people tell me that my voice soothes them to sleep is still really weird, but like thank you. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Let's see. Change it from. I did that the other day, Queen, and I have no idea. I had to Google how to change it back, and that took a while. Oh, cool. That was officially one of the first horror stories I ever wrote. Like it's at least top 3 there. Like it's the one about the kid with the voices under the bed. There was another one for a series I wrote that never took off, and that one. Those were the first 3 stories I wrote, but I couldn't tell you what order they were supposed to be in. Well, thank you, Brandy. I don't know. It takes some getting used to, I guess. Yeah, like look, I don't want to talk bad about chilling. I like chilling. Um Enough of my stories get read by other people on there that I guess they like me too. But I own stock in chilling. Like I bought stock options in chilling when they first came out. And every time we have a stockholders meeting and they ask what do you stockholders want to see? It's why can't I narrate on chilling? Because you read my stories, you clearly like my stuff. Why can't I narrate? And they're like, we just don't have any spots available. It's like, Okay. All right. If you say so. And I'll go back to my little YouTube channel, I suppose. I don't know. I like chilling. I like the concept, but why the fuck I can't narrate on chilling? That's all I'm saying. Like American English keyboard. I didn't know. I didn't know until I did it there was even a distinction. Yeah, it's some kind of like thing that they do. I like. I think my favorite series is probably Grandpa. Like that one's my favorite, but Stragview is a very close second. Like I don't know. That's like having a favorite child. Like I don't think it's any mystery what my favorite stories are. It's the Kashmir ones. That's why they're on Friday. And my like unfortunate children are like shunted off to the Monday series. Like no disrespect to anything I do on Monday, but the Kashmir stories are like my favorite. That's my Castle Rock. Like that's my weird little town out in the middle of nowhere where all my babies live and I love them. Like that's not to say that I don't enjoy the Monday stuff. Hell, the Baron recently sent me lines for a new Killian Barger story that's going to come out in November, and I am pumped for it. Like, one of these days I'm going to get around to writing a Killian Barger book, like the Ghost Detective book. One of these days I'm going to get around to that, but I don't know, man. It's not time yet. Just don't have the time. Hold down the caps lock button. Okay, I'll have to screenshot that and remember it. Dr. Winters is Dr. Winters was Dr. Winters was meant to be a one-off series. Like I had intended to I had wrote the stories that I put in there first. Like they were all oops, sorry. They were all going to be short stories and then I thought, what if what if all of this was therapy? Like what if they were just, you know, talking to a therapist and that's how we came about. I do like the Black Site Kids brand, and the Black Site Kids are some of my favorites, and we will be getting more Black Site. Like that is next week. I'm gonna start working on some ahead of time stories. Like that's all I'm gonna do next week because I've got a long week. I got to work 12 on Monday, 12 on Tuesday, 12 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So like I'm just like gonna crank out as much as I can in that time. And then the Tuesday, Wednesday after that, same. I'm just gonna crank out as much as I can. And then I'm just gonna probably do it that Monday, Tuesday before I go on vacation too. Like just for the rest of October, now that I've finished all the Halloween stuff, it's gonna be go, 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 fill that portfolio. Story about Jericho. Oh, Brandy the Jericho story actually started from a picture. Um, I would it. I've told you guys before. I used to live in Georgia. I love Georgia. Georgia's my favorite place. Like, would move back there in a second. Um, but there's a picture in an old museum that we went to, and it's an old hangy down like wooden sign that says Jericho. And I don't know what it's for, but it was in front of a mining exhibit. And like so in my mind it was Jericho, Georgia. Yep, don't go to Jericho, Georgia. And that's what we went with. That's what we ran with. Let's see. Podunk, Indiana. Posted on the website. That Jennifer, that sounds like the place that I'm moving to. In Florida. Like there's 700 people in the whole town and I'm related to 75% of them. There's like 4 bloodlines in that town and they are all super intermingled. Like it's ridiculous. I'm surprised there haven't been well, Okay, and it's a rule I'm getting ready to break, but the Monday stories are kind of meant to be outside of the Stragview stuff, like outside of Kashmir. Like clearly Kashmir exists in the same universe as like Mr. Seraph and the Black Site Kids and I don't know about Killian Barger, probably Killian Barger too. But they really haven't they don't really have that connection. Now the laughing audience does appear in a couple of different series, but you know, those are more like little Easter eggs for you guys. Like I think what we splashed we splashed the laughing audience into the Bright series. Yeah, like that one of the laughing audience guys took them to the Bright farm. If you haven't got caught up yet, but yeah, that's there will be some more Monday story crossovers like that, I think, but honestly, I like to keep them in their own little spot, you know. Maybe so. Like Jennifer's constantly telling me how like Podunk, Indiana would be like the best. Um imagining a black right? Like that was the laughing audience story, and I tell this story all the time, honestly began from an episode of Family Guy, if you can believe that or not. Like there's an early season 1 episode where um I think it's like Peter tells a joke and like the laugh track goes on for a little too long and he and Brian stand around and look uncomfortable. Um it's like the first or second episode. It's the one where they introduce Joe. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, what if they just never stopped laughing? Like, what if they just kept laughing and they had to stand there until they stopped laughing? Because you can't retake the scene until they stop laughing. So like, that was where I came up with it, and I'm like, I need an audience that just keeps laughing. Well, Queen, we had Pumpkin here a minute ago, but he got bored and left. I'm sure that Normal will come wandering in any minute now. The other two cats are too prissy for me. They don't want to come and hang out, but Normal and Pumpkin usually like to come hang out every now and again. Let's see, the kids ride their ponies to what? No, that is wild. I love it. No more schools need more schools need horse access for definite. Like I could get behind that. Um Speaking of, did you guys catch the Corn Man story? Um I think I'm going to start inserting him into more Autumn Tales next year again. We've still got another Corn Man sighting coming up, but I won't ruin it for you. I hear you, Jennifer, but if you watch like I used to watch The Fresh Prince of Bel Air a lot, and there are certain episodes where you can tell that the laughter went on a little longer than they wanted it to, and Will Smith will start to deliver a line, and then the laughter keeps going on, and he's just kind of like sitting there waiting, sitting there waiting, sitting there waiting. You see, tell he wants to say something, but he doesn't. Um, Saved by the Bell had a lot of them too, where you can tell that like the laugh track went on a little longer than they had expected. But yeah, no, I despise the idea of laugh tracks. As a failed comedian, I don't like being told when I can and cannot laugh. Um, the town I grew up in, Jennifer, had an honest to God general store until it closed down. Like just it was the only thing unless you wanted to drive into town 45 minutes away. And that was to go to Winn Dixie. They didn't even have a Walmart until like 2000 no 93 because we stayed with my grandparents during Hurricane Opal, and they had to go, and it had opened like a year before. So like it's wild how small that town is. I do like me some cats. That's how we came to have four. My wife lost a cat because he ran away and we never could find him. And so she just like adopted two of these cats out of the yard. And so now they're our cats. Hey, Graham. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. We're just kind of live streaming out over here. Just, like I said, if you guys have any questions, just like toss them over. I'm here for you guys. This is your 5K Q&A, and we will do about whatever you guys want, as long as it's not going to get me demonetized. I'll read stories, we'll answer questions, we'll do whatever you guys want. I mean, I'm here for you guys. What happened to Fraser's Fall, by the way? I haven't heard one of those in a while. Oh, it finished. Like we wrapped that one up last year. It you know, I think it's on the playlist, come to think of it. I think I uploaded all of them. Got me going back to check on playlists here. Hang on. Yeah, we wrapped that one up pretty cleanly, as I recall. Yeah, there it is. Got me making sure here. Yeah, I think we got that one done pretty good. That's the only problem with time zones, man. Let's see. Oh, shit. I'll always remember you guys. Like, you know, I'm gonna keep doing live streams when we hit 1,000,000K. Like, I love live streams. I always said if I like ever had if I ever got an audience, I'm not just gonna like forget again. Jennifer, we have more paranormal facilitator stuff. Like it's the Killian Barger stories. Like there's a ton of them. If you I think there's a playlist actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty much all of them are voiced by the Baron now too. Like he's my Killian guy. Yeah, that's Killian Barger is the paranormal facilitator from Paranormal Facilitator. So yeah, that's him. There's a ton of them. I'm writing a book about him actually, just coming along very slowly. uh, if you guys haven't checked out Grim Reader, you should. He's awesome. He does way longer videos than I do usually. And I love him for it, but my voice starts to peter out after like 20 to 30 minutes, so it's not often we get a really long video anymore. I've never been to Morriston, Jennifer. I bet it's sunny, and I bet there are meth heads, but that's just kind of a Florida thing, honestly. Like working at the jail has been like a real eye opener to the drug epidemic in Florida. Well, fire away, Grim. Yes. Well, I felt bad for Mr. Seraph. It's just him, and like I know he's the bad guy, but everybody needs a little friend. Like Lucifer Jones could be is like his little confidant, like his little assistant, and I think he's a good addition to what is probably a pretty lonely team he's got there. He does. Not to gush, Grim, but I like your Irish accent. People tell me I have an accent too, but I don't hear it. I sound like a hillbilly. So 34 minutes long. I believe you, man. I believe you. I I made the mistake the other day of grabbing a story that I did not realize was as long as it was, and ended up reading like a 55-minute story for like a Wednesday or Thursday story. And by the end, I'm like, can't do that again. That's miserable. There's a reason most of my stories are around 15 to 20 minutes. It's also hard to keep interaction after 20 minutes. Like, people just, they get bored and they leave. You know, they're like, this story's too long. But, kudos to you for taking on the longer ones. Like, my voice gets way too crunchy. Pollen count in Florida has been way high lately, so my allergies have been awful. Went to go narrate the other day over here sounding like Chucky's dad off of Rugrats. Brandon, he could not afford my talent. I'd become a multimillionaire overnight for definite. I told somebody in a reading subreddit the other day, hey, Kevin, how many stories I can put out, like, word count wise? And they're like, dude, that's insane. You should be dead. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, most of us, if we can crack out 2,000 words a day, we're doing something good. So, like, no, I don't think he could afford me. Drive through Alabama. Well, Jennifer, be careful where you drive these days in there. Like, there's been a lot of flood damage after, I forget what this current hurricane was called, but there's been a lot of flood damage through there. Yup. Every now and again, I'll have to come back to it the next day, and it's like, well, my voice sounds completely different, but I'm sure that no one will notice. They notice. You could, Queen. It's not that hard. Not to diminish our craft, but I mean, you know, most of it's editing. Like, you just read it, you know. I went looking, Jennifer, but I haven't heard back from the guy yet. I'm waiting to hear something back. Some of these guys are hard to get in touch with sometimes. Anyone else? I liked it. It was a great story. I wish he'd get back with me. All right, Grim. Sleep tight, man. Oh, that'd be cool. Probably 2 weeks. Like, next Saturday, I'll probably do another one before I go on vacation. We'll get in touch, man. We'll get in touch. Hit me up on like Reddit or Discord or something, and we'll get the logistics going. Let's see. Bye, Graham. Sleep tight, man. Queen, I'm sure I'm heading into COPD range. Like, I try to stay in shape, but like, I had croup real bad as a kid, and my asthma just keeps getting worse. So I'm sure I'm heading in that direction. Chair keeps trying to eat me. I need to hit the gym more. I'm slipping into that into what my doctor calls that pre-diabetic range, and I'm like, man, I'm doing my best here. Like, all I do is drink chicken broth at work most nights. From like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I try to just like drink coffee and chicken broth so that I don't like blow up. But it's a coming, I'm sure. Dad sleeps with a CPAP machine, but he's smoked since he was 8. Oh, goodness. Brandy, I'll tell you something. I do too. I get very tongue-tied. I laugh a lot. I have to like go back and usually like edit a lot so that you guys get a clean recording. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these Tuesday, Thursday stories I skim. So like, I'll just like, I'll hit a part and it will be something I wasn't expecting, and I'll just start laughing. Like, well, Brandon, thanks for coming out, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one, I hope. Well, I'm just 38 doesn't seem that young to me, but it's the oldest I've ever been. So I'm sure once I'm 48, I'll look back and say, man, that was way better. But I don't know. I guess that's the only basis I've got for it. Oh. Well, is there anything particular you guys would like to night, Brandon? Sleep good, man. Is there anything particular like that you guys would like to see for Christmas? Like Christmas story wise? Because I've hit a bunch of the high marks on like Christmas lore. Like we got Yule Lads, we had Yule Cat, we had Frau Perchta. I've done Cole stories. I refuse to do Krampus stories because they're overdone. I do have one. I have one, and it's going up this year because I love it. Um, it's I don't know how many of my my fudge my British homies I've got on here, but I want to do a Mary Lived story really bad. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm gonna have to Google it. Marilywd. It is a floating horse skull that breaks into your house and challenges you to a singing competition. And if you lose, it gets to drink all your beer and raid your pantry. I'm like, that is horror story material right there, and I want it. So that's definitely coming this year. Well, congratulations, Queen. I hope to be there one day myself. I hope to make it there. I like 20-minute videos. They're perfect for my ride home and ride with the girls to school. Got it my phone and got. Oh no! I'm sorry, Jennifer. I hope your car was okay. But yeah. I like the shorter ones sometimes. Like I think they're right at the perfect place. Hey, Boogin. No. You came behind the barrier. The people get to see you now. Hey, Calopolis. Okay, we'll run away then. Let's see. Be laughing and start cussing. I do that sometimes too, Brandy. I used to put out a blooper reel, but like, I don't really anymore. It takes too much time. A Yule story, not an X. Queen, I've been playing around with some of those. I'm trying to find just the right one though. The ticket clerk. Somebody remembers me. Yeah, that was a fun one. But I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan, so that one was an honor to do. Yule stories. That's my uncle. My uncle's been sober for a while, Jennifer, thankfully, so he doesn't really do that anymore. Okay. Too dark, Dr. P. Can we get some light? Let's see. Oh no, my son took my ring light again. Did he? He did not. That's too bright. Too bright. There we go. I hope that's better. That's a little more light in there. Let's see. What did I miss here? Interesting. Well, happy early birthday, Brandy. Oh, well, happy late birthday. Sorry. Through the woods and get close. The other narrator. Which other narrator? I don't. I'm gonna need some Need some clarification on that one. I know quite a few narrators. Um, Character along the lines of Krampus. I don't know. I might. Krampus stories are just kind of expected at this point. Hey, Paige. Well, thank you. Should be a new video coming out in 15 minutes, too, so... Wait, today... Oh, yeah, today's Saturday. Those come out anyway. Oh, hold up. Give me like 2 shakes, guys. I got a buddy of mine that wants to join and hang out with us on the streams. There it is. Just need the link. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Maybe. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, that was a fun story. Would do again. Like I said, I love me some HP Lovecraft stuff, but I also love doing collabs. So it's always fun to do collabs. Maybe. I don't know. The closest I ever get to Krampus stuff is kind of like my Green Man stuff, but I'm sure we'll have lots of fun Halloween or Christmas stuff this year. Let's see. Oh, there's another one I want to. I think this Christmas is going to be full of a lot of maybe like sillier stories as well for some of them. There's an Italian tradition called the Caganar. The Caganer. It translates to the pooper, and people will like slip them into people's nativity scenes to see if they notice. And I would love to do one about that as well. I'm trying to figure out how to make it scary and not just completely silly. But I'm gonna figure something out. I'm gonna figure something out. But we'll get a lot of cool Christmas stories this year, I think. Oh, this whole thing. I've got a new shirt for wearing at conventions, but this is my old Dr. Plague shirt there. Great Christmas. How much a great Christmas maybe. Ooh, that could be interesting, Jennifer. Maybe. I think that's kind of what I did with the Yule lads, but they've all got kind of typecasty stuff there, so something to think about though. I've showed you guys before, I've got a whole big list of just unwritten stories that I'm never going to get to the end of. I will have to pass them on to my children and hope that one of them writes. But I'm always looking for holiday stories. And I've wrote down a couple of these already to just so I won't forget them. But yeah, Christmas and Halloween are usually the 2 biggest horror story months. The Easter's trying to get there, but it's not quite there yet. Of course, Halloween is the biggie. You write your Halloween stories if you're in the horror game, but Christmas is a close second. And I really like to put on for both. I really like to do a big story or a big series during Halloween and Christmas. and it just, makes me feel good. They call the white shirt poet shirt, the black one. I think that's what this one started out as, was part of a pirate costume. um, and Dr. Plague needed something a little fancier to wear after a while, so now I've got a nice button up with a vest that I wear. My wife is really into the ACOTAR books, and we're getting ready to go to an ACOTAR ball in December. So I'm going to the ACOTAR ball as Dr. Plague. Like, I've already told her, I'm like, you can wear whatever you want and be from whatever fairy court you want to be from. I'm going as Dr. Plague. And she was like, oh, I like that. That's going to be cool. So I'm gonna wear my mask and my hat and my little vest and all my doodads, and it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Jennifer, the answer to that question is yes. You are correct. Whichever one, yes. It's like technically Harry Potter is a Halloween and a Christmas movie, if you think about it. Oh, excuse me. Slept all day. I don't know why I'm tired. Let's see. Trying to see if I've got any other good ones to pitch for Christmas ideas here. It's hard to top what I've done already. Like, I don't know. Like, I've got so many good Christmas stories like out already. I don't know. It's gonna be a hard one to top. I've got a series I'd like to write too about a little boy in the snow that leads to like some other things, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that one out in time. Yeah, we're gonna work on some stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Um, and of course, like if you need something to read during the Christmas season, we've still got Fall Frights and Winter Chills up there. So pick yourself up a copy and read some cool stories there. I think we've got 2 Halloween compilations now. We've got 2 Halloween compilations, and then Fall Frights and Winter Chills is like a Christmas Halloween book, essentially, with a little bit of Thanksgiving thrown in. Because Thanksgiving horror is underrated. I think it needs a little more love. I like it. It's something I might use. It's very close to a there's a creature in some regions' folklore that does similar, that I've wanted to use. I just cannot remember what it's called. Did I write it down? Probably not. I wrote the Leprechaun one down though because I like it. I might use that. That sounds like a story I would definitely use. I can't find it, but yeah, no, it's something very similar. I liked Queen's idea. It's a good idea. Is that it's very similar to another creature. I get a lot of creatures from a lot of places, and I write them down so I can use them later. I'm going to write down Queen's idea though, so that I do not forget it, because my mind is full of slipperiness. Hang on, I got a system here. Yep, I can do something with that. That's good. I like that. That's an idea. Grim would definitely do it too, I bet. Ooh, Ooh, that would be a good one because we've got a Halloween episode already, and might be something I can do with Rayford Woods. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm always looking for new ideas and stuff. Something to do, you know. As a holiday stories are sometimes just, you know, you don't want to copy other people, you know, because there's so many out there, and I like to keep mine. I like to keep mine a little bit fresh. Like once I realized that nobody had really utilized the Yule Lads for like, you know, holiday horror, I was like, yeah, I got to do that. Ooh. Terror Plague. Incense. Burner. Oh, I like that. There's one there's one on Amazon where like the smoke comes out of his little like eye cups, and it's really cool. I like that. I mean, I've got a it's like a spaceship humidifier thing that I sometimes put on for like ambience. Demented elves could be interesting. It is Queen. I like it. I think I'm gonna get one. I think I'm gonna get one for the background on my new office when I move. Something to like, because I really want to like. Right now, what I've got is like partition walls that I use for my sound booth. I would really like to set up something like a little like office space, something with like background things, so I can like show off some of my stuff. Like, hang on, like some friends of mine knew that I did like YouTube stuff. So like I got this guy and I got like this guy and I've got all kinds of like Plague Doctor stuff. I've got oh, I forgot this. I've got a stuffed Geralt that curses. Oh no, his batteries are going dead. Well, that sucks. I'll have to replace his batteries. But yeah, no, I'd like to have a little like space where I can like set stuff out and I got a Dr. Plague mask. Yeah, I got a couple of Plague Doctor masks. Hold tight. Let's see. Well, now I've got a full. Don't pay no attention to my pants. Those are my pajama pants. I got a full face mask, and then I've got a half mask. Let's see. I used to wear them when I did TikTok stuff, but they're not a lot of fun to read in. Because as you can see, you can't hear me at all. Like, my voice gets super muffled. But this is the one I usually wear when I'm going out. Like, because I like it. It's a little less confining than the other one. And I can wear my glasses with it because I'm ostensibly blind. I'm like... Somebody put a rocket launcher in my helmet. And yeah, see, you still can't hear me very well, and the eye holes just fog up immediately. So, but yeah, if you go back to my old TikToks, like I used to read stories in that thing. Like it was not great. But this is the one I usually stick with. Like this is the one I'm wearing to the Fairy Ball in December. But it's way comfier and it's just way more economical. Plus I can wear my glasses with it, which means I'm not gonna like bump into something and die. Oh. And then I've got my hat with all my pins and stuff on it. Dang it. Get up on my bookshelf. There we go. And then I've got like all my pins and such on it, which I like. I think it's kind of cool. I should have got a size bigger if I'd have thought about it, because it's a little bit small on my noggin there. Yeah, the elves on the shelves are creepy. I don't much care for them. I don't know, they seem weird. I like messing with my kids by moving them around, but they seem weird. Yeah. Got my hat, I got my masks, got my costume, I got some good stuff. I think it'll, if I start doing conventions and stuff eventually, I would like to put together a more, oh, hang on. I don't know if any of you guys follow him on TikTok, but I've also got one of these, which is a lot of fun. My beard may be a little thick for it today, but it's essentially a bird mouth, and he makes these little like cloth masks, and they're supposed to move, but they don't because my beard's too thick, and they're really fun to torment drunks with at the jail. I'm not gonna lie. I wore it one night and probably got about 1,000 grievances for Officer Birdman, which was hilarious to me. But I'm kind of sick. So, what cosplay are you going to? Oh, it's a fairy ball. My wife is really into the ACOTAR books, and they're doing it's like a night court ball or something. So I'm just gonna go as Dr. Plague. Like, I feel like he's spooky and magically enough to get by. So, and I'll sell some books out of my trunk, hopefully, which would be nice because it's at a bookstore. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. Still trying to figure out whose is this. Sorry, I have ADD. Yeah, it should be fun. A lot of big things happening coming up. Anybody got anything else? I've done that. We did that one year. Make a little. It took forever to clean the flour up though, so I was like, we're not doing this again. This is a 1 year thing. Like, nah. I'm gonna be here a while longer. I have no plans to leave for at least the next 20 minutes. Probably about 9. I'll kind of start winding down. We may make it to 9:30. I don't know. It really depends on the crowd. Depends on if people want to stay that late. Set incomplete. Set for. Yes, I think. Yeah. I think that's what a whole set's worth. I think we're up to 9 books now, so it's probably more like $140. But do 130 though, probably if you bought all 9. I write too many damn books. Are we up to 9? I can't remember. 9. Yeah, 9 sounds correct. How is it called? How is what called? I don't understand the question. Nah, we should have a new book at the start of the year because it'll be compilation time again. Oh, it's the A Court of Thorn and Roses is the first one. I mean it's fairy smut. Like my wife likes fairy smut, which it's pretty good. The story's good. They don't bone quite as often as expected in it, so it's all right. I've read all of them too. I like them. Hold that thought just a second. I'm gonna do a short intermission, and I'll be right back. I did not realize that it did that. Okay, well, we are back. Cats needed to be let out. Let's see. But yeah, Jennifer, it's the first one is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So if you pick that one up, I think the rest of them are pretty. There's like five in that, and then there's like the Assassin's Blade and the Throne of Glass series, and I don't know. She's got me reading about all of them. Well, of course, Paige. I always do. I always try to like bubble wrap them and shrink wrap them so that they don't jostle around in there. Well, good to see you back, Queen. That's right, you did. I think I sold you a complete set up until Towsy came out. But you, Jennifer, did you get your copy of Towsy? I thought I mailed you one. I had mailed out all the early copies for the Ghostly Reader tier people. Did you not get one? Could have swore I mailed everybody one. That's dedication right there. Oof. Had to turn the fan back on. It was getting very hot in here. Um, Jennifer, get with me on Patreon through the messenger. I may not have had an updated address for you. Because I had done a call out to everybody to get an updated address, and I could have swore I got yours, but I could be wrong. God, Patreon is such a mess these days. I love Patreon to death, but like their layout is a nightmare. Um, at least from the creator side of things, I don't really know about the other side, but um, oh, that's what's up, Jennifer. I did not get an updated address. Send me an updated address through Patreon, and I will get you a book in the mail Monday. Pinky swear. What is my camera doing here? Yeah, that's on me. I had reached out to get everybody's, but I guess I didn't get one from everybody. Patreon Messenger is kind of garbage anyway. Um, you've got my email address, I think. If you want to reach out through Gmail, go right ahead. If that's easier. Like I said, Patreon's been a mess lately since their last update. Their stuff is just everywhere. Like I don't really like the new layout, but it's fine, I guess. Um, yeah, I struggle with that a little too. Um, shoot, I remember when Patreon was more like, God, what was that called? It's not Fiverr, it's the other one. Kickstarter or whatever it's called. The one where you like backed projects and things. But Patreon's really come a long way. They've just gotten a little too complicated for old farts like me. God, the age I see on some of these new like creators, like it makes me feel old. Like I'm like the oldest guy doing anything at this point, it seems like. Um I had a guy message me over Reddit the other day telling me that he used to read me in middle school, and I was like, middle school? Wait a minute, that doesn't math. I've only been writing for, and I'm like, oh God, 10 years. Yeah, shit, you might have read me in middle school. Like, to have been with these people for almost half of their lives at this point is like really just awful. Like, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine having to read this stuff in your formative years. Like, that kills me. Well, is there anything particular you guys would like to see from the channel? Like, I know the cozy horror stuff went over really well. Like, you guys really seem to like the personal touch there. Is there anything you guys would like to see? Like, not like story wise, but like, I mean, like content wise. Like, I know that the I know that the what am I trying to say here? The compilations have gone over well, but if there's something you guys would like, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Mr. Creepypasta has been doing a lot of my stories lately. We've got an arrangement. He's been doing them since before I started charging people for them, so he still just gets to read them. Like, I get new subs every time he reads one, and I'm just like, read them, just read them. I'd let Creeps read them too, but he doesn't reach out anymore. I'd love to hear from him. It's been a while. I haven't heard from him since that thing with the grooming allegations. I really liked the guy. Like, he was one of my favorites there for a long time. More raining cats. Well, I can do that. Paige, I'm pretty sure my kids would eat you. Like, nobody wants to spend 7 days with my kids. I guarantee it. Hey, Susan. Good to see you. I'm working on some shorts. Hopefully they'll be ready pretty soon. I don't know. Shorts are hard for me. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get their importance. But, like, I'm trying. You need to advertise that you... Yeah, Creeps Make Pasta. He had those grooming allegations a few years ago. I guess it was about 5 years ago. And unfortunately, he was reading some of my stories at the time, so some of my stories made it into the videos where they were accusing him of being a groomer. I think they got it worked out, like they decided that it wasn't true. But I really haven't heard from him since then. Like, a lot of us kind of like stopped reaching out to him at that point, and I hate that. Like, I'd been a fan of his for years and years. Like, I don't know. I wish now I'd kept in touch. It wasn't a good look that a lot of my stories that he was reading a lot of my stories and other people's stories while he was being accused of it. And I was like, I gotta take a step back here. It's going, Susan. We're just live streaming, just talking about Halloween stories and new stuff, and just kind of going about it. But yeah, no, Jennifer, I never had any grooming allegations. I am... After like the third or fourth one of my narrating contemporaries got called out by like Turkey Tom or whoever. I am very, very aware of my online presence. I, I, I didn't talk to people that way before, and I'm not going to start now. Like, you have to be as non problematic in this industry as possible. Yeah, Brandy, I like the stories about cats too. I had to take a little bit of a step back. People were getting mad that cats kept dying in my stories. People had a kill count there for a while on like number of cats that Dr. Plague has killed in his stories, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm killing too many cats here. Um, I mean, Jennifer, he puts it out there. Like he's never been shy about talking to people about it, and I I let people know. I let people know my voice is in there too. Like I'm like, I'm on this channel. I wrote that. And I've had a lot of I've had a lot of back and forth with his subs too. Like a lot of them have become my subs and they come over here and I'm like, "Hey, if you like these stories, then you should come hear mine." And he does a good job. Like I'm glad to have met him. He was the voice of the Mystery Man in Mystery Man on my channel too, so that was fun. Well, thank you, Susan. I try. It's been it's been a long, bumpy road, but we're still going. Susan's been with me for a long time too. Like she was one of my first subs. Reels has some good stories, but nothing. Some of my stories are his stories, but some of my stories are on Reels, but usually it's with permission. I haven't had to DMC anybody's story in a while. Once they realized that I would do it, they stopped playing around. Like I've had to get into TikTok recently and like get on some of them. It's like, hey, that's my story, and you didn't ask permission, so take it down or else. Like I don't like to be an ogre. I like for everybody to get to read my story, but I work I work too hard on them for them to like not mention me and I do charge readers fees. Like I'll be right up front with that. Anybody that wants to read my stuff, I charge readers fees. And like if they don't want to pay it, then they don't get the story. I'm sorry. I have to make money off of my efforts too. What? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Old Corey. Um it's just my regular voice too. But I do Corey and I do Malcolm, which is another I love doing Malcolm. That was my stipulation for those stories. Is it's like I'll voice both vampires, but I especially want to voice Malcolm. And he's like, "Well, I wanted you to voice Corey." And I'm like, "Well, I want to do both." And I want to be a really cheesy vampire. And he's like, "Go right ahead, man." Um I think Mr. Creepypasta does a really good job with them. Lighthouse Horror does a really good job with them too. The Dark Somnium too. I like listening to the Dark Somnium read anyway. I try, Susan. I try. I try not to just be writing what everybody else is writing. I try to keep it fresh. Like I know that people come to me for unique horror, and it's what I want to give them. I don't want to just do a bunch of regular stuff. Which vampire stories were you in? All of them. Like all I play at least one character in like 90% of the Mortician stories. Like I I play Corey and I play Malcolm. I do Louis. Louis's also me. Um, I do Father Pierce. I know there is one more. I know there's one more. Um, I'm coming up with nothing though. I know I do at least 5 characters on that show, but like I'm coming up with nothing on the next one. Um, I had told him it's like, man, if we ever have to like do this live or something, it's gonna look weird, like me talking to myself for like 10 minutes. because like Corey and Louie are friends, so they have a lot of interactions together. But yeah, I just there for a while. I was 90% of his voice talent. He's gotten more, and but I still do my characters. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Malcolm sounds a lot different. Like, you know, Corey's kind of a quiet, nerdy guy, and he doesn't want a lot of trouble. It's like, oh, geez, Malcolm, I don't want no trouble. And then you've got Malcolm, who's kind of loud, and he sounds like What We Do in the Shadows. And he became a vampire to drink blood and fuck forever. And that's Malcolm. He's very Matthew Berry. And then, like, you've got Louie, who's kind of gravelly, and he sounds like he weighs 400 pounds, and like he's from Jersey. And then, you got Father Pierce, who kind of sounds a little like Ned Flanders, or like the guy from MASH. And, you kind of mix it up a little bit, Corey's the only one that actually sounds like me. Let's see. I haven't heard one yet. Oh, well, thank you, Brandy. Where are the vampire stories? Well, the ones they're talking about are on Horror on the Rocks' channel. Where I help him write. I write. We co-write. We co-write the Mortician stories, and then I do voices for a couple of them. He is, Jennifer. He's kind of like he's the Morty to Malcolm's Rick, and he's just kind of like, oh, geez, I don't want any trouble, man. I don't want to do this. He's come out of his shell a lot lately, though. Like ever since he got a girlfriend and started going on adventures and whatnot, he's kind of gotten some chops about him, and he's a lot of fun to play. Like he's the character that I enjoy coming back. I like playing Malcolm, but like I like Corey. Corey's close to my heart there. Bye, Susan. It was good to see you. Come back for the next one. Brandy, they're on a different channel. This is a Horror on the Rocks. He's another narrator that he and I co-write the I Inherited a Mortuary story. And then he had approached me to do some voices, so I do voices too. There's a character like it's a cleaning service that like is done by zombies, and I really wanted to do the owner of that, Ector Mancer, the necromancer, but he was like, no, I got somebody for that. And I was like, oh man, I wrote him to voice him though. Well, there's something to be said for like a writer that reads his own work too. Like I used to really like the Stephen King audiobooks where he would read his own stories, because I think that when a writer reads his own stuff, it makes a better impression. Like it really, you get the inflection right. Like they know where the inflection should be, where the rise and the fall is, and I think it makes a big difference. That's why I like narrating my own stories. That's why anything you read on Monday and Friday is also that's channel exclusive. Nobody but me gets to read that. The Wednesday stuff I will sometimes sell to the highest bidder, but anything from Kashmir, anything from Killian, anything from the Laughing Audience, that's all for the channel. Like that's just for you guys. I don't even post any of that on Reddit anymore. Mostly because I'm beefing real hard with No Sleep again, but I won't go into that. No Sleep and I do not work together anymore. Brandy, you should check him out. It's a really good series. It has been compared favorably to Tales from the Gas Station, actually. People really seem to like it. I hope so. He's got 2 more seasons at least planned, so next season's going to be interesting. I can't talk about it. I told him I wouldn't spoil anything. I'm not gonna spill the beans here, but it's gonna be a good one. And then season 4 is going to be really good too. Like, it's going to be a good time. SK's cameo in his movie. Definitely. Yup. I like seeing Stephen King in his own movies. Like, I know he's had a hit or miss kind of thing with the movie industry. Like, he notoriously hated The Shining. But like, I know there are other adaptations that he's helped with that he really likes. Um like, he was in the It movies and he seemed to really like what he was doing. Um I like seeing, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen it, but it was a TV movie, Rose Red, based on his short story, A Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. And I really liked that one. He was the pizza guy in there, and I was like, I'm like, it's him. It's weird to be a 12-year-old boy getting excited because you recognize your favorite author in a movie. Like, mom was like, who is that? And I'm like, that's Stephen King. And she's like, oh, okay. Because mom reads, but she doesn't like horror. She doesn't really read a lot of horror. Like, she reads my horror because I'm her son and she loves me, but she's not a real big horror buff. Yes, yes. I cannot. If you petition me, Brandy, to read my story, and I go to your channel and see that you are using AI, I will immediately not let you read it. I feel like it's soulless and it's not good, and I don't like it. Night, Paige. We'll see you next time, man. Perfect for the style of the stories. I hear glory to. Well, that's what I was going for, but a lot of my cadence is also based on Mr. Creepypasta because he's the one I used to listen to back when I was in my mid-20s, just starting out in horror. Like, him and Creeps McPasta and Creepypasta Jr., they were the ones I listened to, and I was like, I could write these. These aren't that hard. And then I started writing them. That's how I got started. Yep, me too, Queen, me too. I do not like AI. I was read the other day. It is here on YouTube. I watched it the other night at work. It's a good movie. The Haunted House series is one of my favorites, and like I told them, the last week of Halloween, we're gonna get a. It's the Barker comes back, but he's running a haunted carnival, so look out for that. That should be a lot of fun. I have read just about all of his books, Brandy. I've got a lot of them in hardback. Like, I'm working on my hardback collection right now. And one of these days, I gotta wander up to Maine and get him to sign one, before he fucking croaks. I hate that he's old, and I might not get to meet him before he dies. I need to get on that. Let's see. Yep. I also enjoy Jordan Group. Jordan Group's good. Um, I haven't heard Mr. Grinless. I may have to look him up. Lighthouse Horror. I like Lighthouse Horror. I've written some stuff for Lighthouse Horror. Like, he bought some commission stuff back in the day. Mr. Creepin is good. I haven't heard Doctor No Sleep either. I may have to look him up as well. Exactly, Brandy. If you're gonna put your stories out there, have the courage to read them. Even if your voice is kind of trash, have the courage to read the stuff. Don't just roll it into an AI, and because to me that just looks like a shameless cash grab. I haven't read creepy ghost stories either. I'm gonna have to look them up. Creepypasta just did a new Tales from the Gas. There's a new Tales from the Gas Station. I'm gonna have to look at that. I like me some Tales from the Gas Station. I got to admit, I do watch One AI channel, but they don't claim to be anything else. See, now if you're mixing it with pictures, like you're telling a story, that's one thing. But just throwing out an AI voice and just like rain background or something, nah, fam. You're gonna have to put more into it than that. Don't tell anyone I love Maximum Maximum Overdrive is there to be loved, though. Like, let's be real. It's I'm going to say what no one else has the courage to say. Stephen King wrote better when he was dosed up to the eye teeth on cocaine and Miller Lite. Like, there, I said it. I stand by it. Like, his old stuff just hit different. His new stuff is good, but his old stuff was just like, Steve, these are great. Why do you come up with this? Cocaine. Lots of cocaine. And beer. Lots of beer. And cocaine. And beer and cocaine. Like, it was quite obvious that he is just like writing by the seat of his pants. Like, it's insane, and I love it. Let's see. They have a narrator, Maggie. Who has it? I may have to look that one up too. I love meeting new narrators. Maximum Overdrive is a classic. Let's see. I've got all of those in hardback too, except for It. I'm still missing It. Misery I've got. Needful... oh, hang on, actually. Not the flex or nothing here, but that is my Needful Things hardback there. That's one of my favorite Stephen King books too, is Needful Things. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, Jordan Group is the one who does Hallows End. Jordan Group is one I just keep stumbling across every now and again. Like, I haven't listened to him a lot. But I may have to look into him then, because people keep telling me that the Hallows End is a really good story. Let's see. That's true. I don't know. He just... his writing was just better. I mean, I'm sorry. I want him to last, but his writing was just better. I saw that one, Gas Station Dick Pills. And I saw the story when it hit No Sleep, and I looked at it and I was like, no, there's no way this is any good. Oh, well, the title, I guess. No way this is any good. But it's really took off. Like, it has really took off. And it's wild. Like, it's crazy, Chad. It's just crazy. Like, I don't understand it sometimes. The Bachman books are really good. The Bachman books are definitely some of my favorites. I mean, I like it when Stephen King writes under his own name, but he really kind of like pushed the envelope with some of the Bachman books. I can't wait to see that. I wish they'd make another season of Castle Rock. I really liked Castle Rock. There was a time not too long ago when they were kicking around doing a HBO series on Needful Things, and I'd have watched that. I'd have watched the shit out of that. That sounds like a good time. Like, I like Needful Things anyway, and that just sounds like it would have been great. But The Long Walk will be good too. Gerald's Game would be another good one to do a... Is it Gerald's Game? What? God dang it, I can't think of the name now. What's the one where they have to like hide for a certain amount of time to win the money? I think that's Gerald's Game, isn't it? Brandy, unfortunately, I don't think it's a book. It's a short story, I know. The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, but I don't think it's a book. I think that's one they wrote just for the series. I found books. So many details. I haven't even read the Dick Pills story. I probably should then. It seems interesting from what I've heard. Wish they made it true. I think Running Man is the one I'm thinking of, not Gerald's Game. I think Running Man. Yeah, I wish they would make another. I think they made one, but I wish they would make another one. But yeah, I could stand to have an actual, like, one of those. Hallows End is very good, including... Okay. Yeah, I meant to ask, how do you guys feel about having your names at the end of the story like I do it now? They change so often. Like I have people drop, people pick back up. People drop, people pick back up. New people come in. They leave before I can put their name in the end. So I just started putting it in in the credits in the end. I hope that's okay. Like I just it seemed like a more equitable system. Like it seemed like it would be more likely to get people's names there than to not. And it's still very hit or miss. I still swear that Richard Lehman. I still Richard Lehman is good. Um, Richard Lehman is fine. He's a good writer. I like Richard Lehman. I'm a total King head. Like I love Stephen King. Jennifer, yeah. Needful Things is in my top 5. I can't add the Dark Tower in because I love the Dark Tower. It transcends everything. Like that is my favorite series of his. But it's usually like The Shining, Doctor Sleep, Needful Things. Um, shoot. I guess It. Yeah, I like It. And Cujo. I like Cujo. Cujo would be my number 5. It's such a sad story, but it really it's terrifying in a different way. And then right under that is Pet Cemetery. I love Pet Cemetery. Um, I do not have Tommy Knockers yet, Brandy. I need to find it, but the hardback version is proving difficult to find. Every time I see an ad on Marketplace for a bunch of Stephen King hardbacks, I hope to find it, and I never do. Gerald's Game. Yeah, okay. That's right. That's Gerald's Game. I think I was thinking of Running Man. I was thinking it would be you could have a competition. Queen, I tried that for a while. There for a while I was putting the names of patrons in my stories, and some of them did not like it. Some of them were not fans of it, but I would be more than willing to do it. Like they thought they would, and then I did it, and they were like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like that's creepy." It's definitely interesting. I definitely wouldn't take them. I don't need my name. I want a corn reference. Like the band or like the vegetable, Jennifer? Cujo Pet Cemetery. Graveyard Shift is another good one that I really like. Please don't read the names. It drives me nuts. Plus, it has to be a pain in the ass. It kind of is, Paige. Like it changes so much, and sometimes I like to do my videos ahead of time. Like I had 90% of my Halloween videos done in August. Like I went ahead and got them done, got everything put together. That way they wouldn't be any holdback on it. But I don't know. I know that's part of my Patreon goals that I promised to read them out, but I think the list works better. I don't think I've ever read any Joe Abercrombie. Maybe I should. I have to pick him up. Well, Maya, I like bringing you guys stories that interest me, but I like reading my own stuff more. Like that's why I started the channel in the first place, was to have a place to read my stories. Like I keep saying, if I could find the time, I'd love to just read my stuff 5 days a week for you guys. Like that would really be nice. Real first name, of course, not YouTube name. Like mine's George. See, that's the problem, Queen, is like I put people in stories they don't really want to be in, and they're like, I don't like that. That's bad. Please don't do that. Um, Brandy, unfortunately, most of my characters seem to be dumb for some reason. Like, um, what was the one Mr. Creepypasta read recently? Too Many Teeth. Like, they ripped the main character of that story apart. They're like, he's dumb. He's needlessly dumb. He doesn't notice that his kid's growing and that he's, like, doing all this weird stuff. And it's like, I don't know, man. Kids do weird stuff sometimes. Like, Jennifer, back me up here. Kids do weird stuff sometimes. Like, you can't notice every weird thing that your kids do, or you're just going to be noticing weird things all day sometimes. Like, it's wild. Read every book as soon as it came out and spent an unhealthy amount of money. Until Vagabonds. Yeah, Vagabonds really was not his best work. Like, I like the character. The the female detective character that clearly has autism. That he used in that other story that I also really like, that I cannot the stranger, not the stranger, the other side, the outsider. The detective character from The Outsider. I like that character, but I did not like Bag of Bones. It just wasn't there. Like, it wasn't there for me. I read it, but I didn't like it. Yeah, poor old Georgie. Take a quick listen. I guarantee you'll love it off the hook. Okay, I'm gonna add it to my my Audible list for next month when I get some credit. Because at this rate, I'd never get to read. I just have to listen to stuff. Well, I mean, I had one this month with corn in it already. We had ourselves a whole corn man there. Like, the corn man returned again. That was not a character I thought I'd ever use again. But that's my favorite thing to do, honestly, is make up boogans sometimes. Just weird critters for, like, the protagonist to have to do something about. Maybe I'll start slipping some names in. I don't know. They made a series, Mr. I know Mr. Mercedes got a movie, but I didn't think it got a series. Maybe they did. Maybe that's the one people keep talking about. I think the last Stephen King series I watched was Castle Rock, but that's been a minute. See, I don't really like to use clowns that often. Like, A, they're a little played out, and B, some of my cousins are clowns. Like, they like professional circus clowns, and like, clowns just aren't that scary to me. Like, I know the guy under the grease paint, so like, it's just a guy, you know. It's not really that scary to me. You guys have talked me into it. I may have to listen to Hollow's End then. I may have to do that. I hope you like guys like the character of Sheriff Guthrie, because he's gonna stick around for a while. He's I'm thinking about doing some little, like, in between series of like Kashmir tales, like open up some of the other places in Kashmir, because really all we see is the prison, the hospital, the clinic, the botanical garden, and Grandpa's house. Like, we really don't see a lot of like the town. So I'm thinking about doing some, like, Kashmir stories to kind of, like, open up the town a little bit more, so we can see some other things. Because eventually I would really like to do, like, a radio station style thing. Like, if you listen to Welcome to Night Vale, I'd like to do something like that, except with Kashmir. Like, less goofy and more, like, creepy goofy. Like, but, you know, you would need to know where the places in Kashmir are. Like, so we would have to do something about that. Eventually I'd like to get some voice actors in to do, like, Dr. Winters, and of course I would voice the Warden, because I love the Warden. But stuff like that. Jeremy. I can do that. I'm about to start writing a bunch of short stories anyway, so. Ooh. Pretty sure you're right, Mia. Like, Stephen King, except for The Shining. I think The Shining was the only one he didn't do a cameo in. But he likes doing cameos in the movies that he approves of. Like, I don't even think that was a problem with The Shining. I think he just didn't like Stanley Kubrick, which he sounds awful, so I don't know why he would. Well, Jennifer, there might be a Jennifer character then, but oh man, I wish I could write something like Baraska. Baraska is such a staple of horror at this point. Like, I mean, like when I think of like OG horror stories, it's always like 1999, Pen Pals, Baraska, and the Russian Sleep Experiment. Like those are always my big four. Um, Trying to think if I can think of a fifth one, but not really. Um, that's right, Queen. Moon. That spells Tom Cullen. On the newsstand. I would. I would. I would watch it. I would watch another Stand remake. I liked the old one. I'd watch a new one. I've probably read the book like 1,000 times. I'm listening to the audiobook again. Like, not right now, but as soon as I get off of here, I will. Um, I'm like right at the end at this point. It does indeed. Mr. Grinless. I haven't listened to him yet. He keeps popping up. Um, Baraska does have an arguably sad ending, I suppose. It's yeah, okay. It's a sad ending, I guess. Like it really depends on how you interpret it. Like the good guys do not win at the end of Baraska. And the bad guys, some of the bad guys turn out to be some of the good guys and vice versa. Like it's a wild time. Um it's a very well written story. Like I said, I wish I could write an iconic piece of like fiction like that. The new one was on Max last year. Heard's name. Yeah, that's a good character for Amber Heard, I guess. Um, I may have to look that up while I've still got a Max subscription. Hmm. We've created a monster. I don't know, man. I need to go read it now. Like, when I read the title, I was like, it's just not going to be for me. I can already tell. Then again, though, I don't like stories with attention grabby titles. That's why mine don't usually have them. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, I'm sure I'll, I'm sure I'll just go listen to it, but it's, it's interesting. I'm sure it sounds interesting. Could be. Mr. Creepypasta's really been throwing them out here lately too. Um, he's only doing one a day though. He's got to get on my level. I'm busting out two a day here. He got up with me about that the other day. He's like, dude, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, ad rev. He's like, ah, I feel that. Um, I mean, like, I think I said it earlier in the stream. Like, having the longer stories earlier in the day that I can put ads in between stories means that I can keep them out of the end of day stories so that you're not listening to a 15-minute story with three ads in it, which is nice. I like to not break up my stories. I like for you guys to be able to listen from the first second to the last second without having an ad shoved in your face to break up a story, you know? Like, I like that. And read a story within days of each. That's, again, Jennifer, yeah, I like to read stories that nobody else is reading. I like to read lesser known stories. I don't like to read the same thing everybody else is reading. That's boring. Like, if you can hear it on Mr. Creepypasta's channel, then he probably read it better than I did anyway. So why would you want to come and get a terrible copy of it? I would rather read something different. I'd rather read something that not everybody's reading. Let's see how long we can keep talking. I try not to, Brandy. I try not to put a lot of ads in. Well, Queen, here lately, it's been beginning of video, end of video for the ones that come on at like 8:30. Well, like my 8:30. The ones that come on at night. For the ones that come on early in the day, the longer ones, I can put an ad in between each of them. That way it doesn't break up the story and I still make ad revenue. Like, I had like 8 videos in that grandpa video yesterday, but it was like 4 hours long, so the algorithm loved the shit out of it. YouTube Premium is proof that the God. Jennifer, I've been thinking about getting YouTube Premium, and the good thing about it is I get ad revenue like you watched the videos because you signed up for Premium, which is nice. Oh, Lordy. I've got it to spend. I just don't want to do it. Like, I'd rather give that money to, like, I don't know, food. Food is what I usually give it to. Well, Mia, some of those stories are a little bit hard to slip by the algo these days, too. Like, they're hard to get ads on in the first place. Like, I don't know, the algorithm doesn't really want suicide stories. I found that out the hard way. When I tried to put one up, and they were like, no ads on that one. It's like, but my ads. And I'm like, no, sorry, no. How do you do it? Do what? Oh, no Running Man on Mars. Oh, goodness. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes left, I think. I did have Premium, but I got... True that. Night, Brandy. Sleep well. Oh, yeah. I think we got about 5 minutes left, guys. Anything particular you guys wanted to ask about? Future stories, or like any questions about any of the stories? Or, man, like, some of you guys are troopers. Like, you've been here for the whole 2 hours. Like, I think I've been talking to most of you guys the whole time. Yeah, if you got anything pressing, throw it out there, and I will totally answer it if it's not going to spoil the story. Like, I'm not going to tell you if all the Black Site kids make it out. That would spoil the story. I don't know if any of you heard it at the start of the stream, but some of you have had questions about Grandpa and if he's okay. That's going to set us up a Kashmir Hospital Appalachian Grandpa crossover. So that should be fun. I think you guys will like hearing that one. Yep, I get paid for premium subs too. It's 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 good to have premium if you can afford it. I mean, like that way you get to skip the ads. And for premium users, when they hit a video and don't watch the ads, I still get paid like they did out of that premium subscription. Cause like I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you guys how much I make off of YouTube. I don't care if they know I've told you, but it's, with the extra video, it's I mean, it's what am I up to? It's about $500 a month, honestly. Like, I make pretty good money off of YouTube. Damn, we gained 20 subs during this live stream. That's crazy. But yeah, no, like I make pretty good money off of YouTube these days. Like, but the that second video edition definitely made the difference. Like I was very glad to have it. And it's money that I can sock back for when I retire next year, and then I can live off of that for a while, so that I can bust out content for you guys all the time. Because that's my retirement plan, is to like make YouTube shorts and write and make YouTube videos until I fucking die. Hopefully, in no time soon. Oh. Jennifer Queen hails from the wonderful continent of Australia. So she is officially my most far-reaching sub at this point. It used to be Emily, who was from Greenland, but that's wild too. Like that blows my mind when like non-English speaking country people like tell me that they watch my stuff. I am, Jennifer. I'm retiring next year. It'll be give me 12 years in with a department, and I'm gonna take the money and run. Corrections is changing so much anyway that I don't want to get caught in all the bullshit that's coming down over that. It's not the game that I started playing 12 years ago. It's so different, and it's so scary how it's changing. It's okay. I just like having you guys around to leave comments and watch my videos and stuff. The paid subs are nice. Like it's always nice, but you know, it's the ones that stick around and come back day after day after day that are always really nice too. I appreciate the hell out of my $5 subs, but you know, I appreciate the hell out of everybody. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Doing YouTube videos, I'd still be alive, but you know, I'd be less happy about it. Not really. Um, nah, not really. They come up in my timeline because they know that for some reason Google knows where I work, so it recommends CO channels to me. But I don't really. I watch a few of them, but I don't really sub. I don't watch them frequently enough to sub. Most of it's just depressing to watch stories about the place where I work. I'm like, no, I want to go home and forget about that place. I'm tired from the railroad. Wonderful. Goodness. Well, part of that, Jennifer, is that we're moving. I'm selling my house and moving out to the middle of nowhere to be closer to my parents and my grandmother because she's not doing so well. So I'm going to buy my parents' house, and then that's what I'm going to do. I've already told my dad. He's like, "Are you going to get another job?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going to make YouTube videos and stuff." It's coming, Paige. Don't worry. It's coming. I do think this is where I'm going to call it, though, guys. My voice is starting to get crunchy. It's wonderful to live stream with you guys, as always. I always appreciate seeing you guys. I hope to see you in the next one. It should be 2 weeks from now. Are they storing? sometimes, Jennifer, a different narrator does bring a different kind of flair to it. That's true. Any rate, good night, guys. I will catch you on the next one. Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful